Hello everybody, my name is Thor Young, and I'd like to do a recap for you on my Uber trade today. In today's trade, I'm going to cover another user suggested subject in our comments here. Remember everybody, I'm kind of getting my subject matter from the comments, so if you like this video, please throw me a like, and then feel free to comment on it, and then also include other subjects you would like me to cover. And as I cover them, we'll just kind of keep it going. We can get any knowledge you guys are looking for out there, like we've been kind of talking about. So one thing that was a nice thing that was suggested, and I thought would be a good thing to cover, would be how I select my stocks for the open, and especially in pre-market, and what I'm looking for. So there's really just four main things that I'm looking for, and I'm going to kind of cover those through. Today you can see I traded Uber. So the main thing I'm looking for, first of all, is going to be a strong catalyst. So to have your strong catalyst and to find those out generically, I'd recommend some kind of a news source or some kind of a trading community, trading show. We have the pre-market show that we have. Feel free to ring the bell, and that will get you to go live with us every morning. And during that time, we go through our gappers list and our scanners that help us identify the best stocks to trade for the day. So you're going to have Carlos and Norm generically going through that and giving you those levels, and they're going to find pretty much everything you need to know as far as levels go. And you'll come down to about a list of probably about, around 10 stocks by the time you're there. So the question is, how do you get it from 10 down to as many as I watch, which is often as low as 1 or 2? So you've got your strong catalyst. You have a news source like Benzinga that's saying something's going on with this. You've got earnings. Something else is going on. So the next thing I want to look at is I want to talk about the level 2, and looking at the level 2 to find structured pockets of liquidity, and making sure that the stock's going to trade well. So what I mean by that is, like, look for instance on Uber, which is breaking up nicely now after I got stopped out on my ad. Oh well. Had a really good day on it, well over goal, so no worries. But you're going to look through the L2 here, and what you want to look for is the structure of the L2. Now, when I say that, I mean you want to see how we're 81, 80, 78, 76, 75, 73, 72. There's never really more than a 1 cent or a 2 cent spread anywhere down on this lower level, which means that if the stock drops, it's going to have a more consistent drop to the downside. And I look at the ask. Does the ask look well structured as well? It does. Are there some large sellers up there? Something going on? It does have that. Now again, the main reason you want to do this is for your risk management. You're going to be worried about things like slippage, okay? And making sure you're judging your entry. If your entry is at $28 and then your stop out is going to be at, let's say, the loss of $27.90, you're going to have a real issue if there's a gap from $21.91 down to $21.80. There's going to be a 10-cent gap to the downside, which is going to ruin your risk management, because you're going to encounter almost 10 cents of slippage on that position. And it happens to traders all the time. They go in heavy on a position, the stock snaps down out of nowhere, and they're caught going, what happened? And they just lost $1,000 when they were only expecting to lose maybe $200 or $300. So it's really important to look to the L2 and make sure that the stock is going to play nice. It's going to have nice consistent movement as it goes up and down throughout its different price ranges. Spread is key for that. So now you have your spread done. The next thing is, are there obvious levels? So you start off with your daily. One thing I really liked was just above $26. You saw we had a kind of a nice bullish candle yesterday, and then we had this consolidation, and we basically opened and closed almost at the exact same level, just above this 26.10. So I was really zoned in to see what was going to happen there this morning, because that's right where we were trading as well. All right, after that I went into the 15-minute and looked at the pre-market. We set up a low here, but then we had some nice bullish candles moving up before we got to our high and did a little bit of a pullback. All right, that's good. Generically, when I'm looking to trade a stock, the way the pre-market looks in this time frame is often an indicator for the direction the stock's going to go throughout the day. Just depending on market sentiment. Obviously, if the market drops a whole lot, it's not going to help you too much. But in a normal moving market, as things are going, that tends to work out quite a bit. And then I come into the 5-minute and I look at that, just make sure we're all looking good. All right, so everything was pretty good to go on this stock. So I knew I wanted to trade Uber today because it really had just about everything I needed. It had the catalyst, it had the L2 structure, it had some obvious levels from pre-market. The last thing that I like to do, and I'll actually come back out here to the 30-minute, and we'll zoom in on this time frame. What I like to do is I like to see how the stock traded the previous day. Now, notice here, oh man, that zoomed out really far. Sorry about that. All right, where are we at here? There we go. Notice on the previous day here on Uber, and I'm using a 15-minute chart because it's just easier, Uber actually had a pretty good sell-off before it started to go up, right? Let's go back another day here. Again, Uber had a pretty nice sell-off before it started to go up, right? Went back here. Again, Uber had a pretty hard sell-off before it started to go up. So this stock in the open seems to pretty consistently have a sell-off before it goes up. So I'm not going to leap into this stock really early for this opening range break. I'm going to wait for it to sell off and give me a clear indicator. So now let's come back in here to the 1 minute so you can really see what I did. So the stock opened up, kind of had some indecision. It dropped below this critical level, this 2620 that I said I was really interested in. Now I have this auto draw. Auto drawing levels is awesome. If you want to auto draw your levels, you can do it here in the study config. I actually have mine using price markers, right, that are marking my yesterday's low, yesterday's high, and yesterday high and low. So those automatically draw in because I find those to be good. And then I also use pre-market high and pre-market low as well. So, and I have those auto drawn in there. You can auto draw a lot of different categories in here. So if you're looking for something, you know, that's a good spot to go ahead and do it. So we came down here and we actually bounced off of this daily level, came up, did strong, bounced off a pre-market high and this previous, and then it came down here, and then look what it did with our daily level. It bounced right off of it. Also a decent sized bid down here too. But it bounced right off of it, so I took a little bit of a position here going into VWAP. It stalled and it held. My risk was the loss of, you know, right down here, the loss of 210. So I ran about a 20-cent risk. But it came down here, held nicely, came up here, was still looking good above this level. At this time right here, when I added in, the SPY was actually making a big rally, and it started to rally at that point. So I figured I had a lot going for me, so I went ahead and added in additional here, and then we just milked it all the way up. Ended up with 1,000 total shares on this position by the time I went in there. So I had a really good day on it. And I had a solid move all the way up to 28.10 where I got off there. And then I tried to do a little ad because it looked like we were consolidating, but then the market rolled over and the stock went down. And eventually I stopped out at my adjusted break even, which was just above VWAP. Naturally, for it to, I knew I should have left it just below VWAP. I actually miscalculated that. I wanted it to be below VWAP, but I miscalculated it, and my rule is I just got to leave it where it is. So unfortunately, it came there and got me, and now it seems to be crawling back up, but that's okay. We did really well on this one today, you know, double daily goal just about, so there's no real reason to really get too crazy with this one. So I hope this answers some nice questions for you guys and helps you kind of identify what you're looking for. Remember, it's all about risk management and protecting your money. So if you're looking at a stock, you want to make sure you have everything going for you before you just jump into a stock. And the main thing to really focus on is the level 2, because you want to make sure you have a nice tight spread and the stock is going to play nicely. But on top of that, obvious levels to trade with, strong catalyst, and look at how it was trading in the previous couple of days and get an idea for what it may do today. Stocks tend to have a personality because lots of traders tend to trade similar stocks over and over again, so this can kind of help dial you in a little bit. I hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you found this useful, and keep it green. Thanks.